Hello again, and now we're going to keep going in section 1.3, and we'll pick up with example number 5. So we were looking at lines and slope-intercept forms, how we can use that to our advantage. So for this problem it says use this y-intercept and slope to graph the equation. Now normally, if we didn't have that knowledge about the slope and the y-intercept right from the equation in this form, we would have to go the long route and actually plot some points and then, get a sense of what the line looks like, what the graph looks like. But we can do that much, much quicker now because it's in the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We can quickly say that the slope, m, should be 3/2. And because we have the minus 2 at the end, our y-intercept better be 0, -2. And so now we can go to our blank graph here and say 0, -2 better be right there. And since the slope is 3, 2, remember rise over run, so we're going to go up 3 for every 2 over. So 1, 2, 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3 over 2. And we can go backwards as well. Now, technically we only need 2 points to draw a line, but it doesn't hurt to have a few extra just to make sure you stay on course. So, and then if you want to label it, it's not a bad idea. So there's our line. Nice and quick. Let's try another application. So this one wants you to write the slope-intercept form of the line below. So what do? We have this line. What information can we pull from it? Well, the first thing, if we know intercepts are our key values to find, our y-intercept is right here. And so we can quickly say that our y-intercept is 0, 1. All right, so there's one critical piece. The next piece is our slope. So how can we get the slope? Well, we can do it a few different ways, but the big thing is we want to try to find some nice points on that line so then we can make sure we're mathematically accurate in what the slope should be. So some nice points right there looks like a nice one. So we can see that's -1, 3. We have a point here, 0, 1. We can keep going and looking and see that every time we go over 1 and down 2, that gives us a nice point on that line. So if we went down 2 and over 1, that gives us our slope, so -2. And now we're home free. So y equals -2x plus 1 should be our answer, and that is that. So again, very quick once you pull those critical pieces of information from the graph. Now this next application wants you to find that slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the points with the given slope. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this. One way is to use some of those forms that we've learned so far. So we have that point-slope form, and we also have the slope-intercept form. Now they do want your final answer in slope-intercept form, so we want to keep that in mind. But how we get there is up to you. So let's start the first one using the slope or the point-slope form. So remember, that's just using a random point, which is what we got. We don't have the y-intercept and the slope. So let's plug everything in. So we got y minus 3 equals a -2 times x minus 1. So replacing x1 and y1 and replacing m with our slope. And now we just got to get y by itself. So let's get rid of those parentheses. And let's Move the 3 over to the other side. And boom, done. Not anything too hard, but sometimes it's a little clunky because of the parentheses and stuff like that. But let me show you a different way. The other way is to actually use the y equals mx plus b. So when we use y equals mx plus b with this information, we're going to get some different processes in place and different results that we're going to have to interpret. So in this case, let's plug this 1 in for x, and let's plug the 3 in for y. And then we still got m is equal to -2. So if we plug in 3, -2, x is 1, and b we don't know. But now that's the only thing we don't know in this whole math problem. So let's see what b is going to be. So we have 3 equals a -2 plus b. Let's add the 2. And lo and behold, b is 5. So if we know what b is, and we know what m is, we can plug it all back into our original y equals mx plus b. And what do we get? Same answer. So either way you want to get to that final result is fine. Whichever one looks easier to you. Sometimes this is probably the easier of the two ways, but it's all up to you. Let's do this next one, and let's use this second way since it's a little bit easier. So again, we got y equals mx plus b. Let's plug in our numbers. So 9, -0.75. Oh boy. All right, so now we might have to bust out our calculator. I don't want to do math, probably just as much as you, at least not in our heads. So we're going to want to multiply that. Let's see what we get. 0.75, whoops, let's try that again. 0.75 times 5 equals, so 3.75, and it better be positive because we had 2 negatives. And now when we subtract this over to the other side, well, that looks like 5.25. So 5.25 for b, and now don't forget to finish it off. They don't want to know what b is, they want to know what the equation is. Find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. So y equals our slope, -0.75, x plus 5.25. And so there's your answer. So not anything too drastic, but you want to just be careful. Make sure you complete the whole process. If they want an equation, make sure your final answer is an equation. So all right, we'll stop there and we'll keep continuing on in the next video. So see you very soon.